In this chapter, we're going to take a tour of the Dreamweaver CS3 interface, but before we get started, I wanted to make sure that what you see in these movies is as close as possible to what you see in your own copy of Dreamweaver. So on my Mac, I've opened up Dreamweaver, and I'm going to come up here to the Window menu, go to the Workspace Layout command, and choose Default. This instantly rearranges my windows into the default layout that appears when you first open Dreamweaver. So even if you've opened Dreamweaver before and you've just been playing around with moving windows and panels all over the place, just select that default layout and everything will go back to the way it originally was. Now on the Windows side of things, the commands you can choose from are a little bit different. Here in the Windows version of Dreamweaver, I again can come up to the Window menu, choose Workspace Layout, but instead of having that choice of default, we have choice of Coder and Designer, among a few other things. So in the Windows version of Dreamweaver, you have to make a decision on whether you want your workspace set up based on whether you're more of a designer or more of a coder. If you choose Designer, your Dreamweaver workspace will be set up as an integrated workspace where all the document windows and panels are contained within one big window. So this is the one big window right here. I'll just minimize that so you can see it. I can move that around. But all the panels and document windows are all going to be in this main Dreamweaver window. Now, unless you plan on doing a lot of hand coding, I suggest you go with this arrangement because it makes working with multiple documents and panels much, much easier. This is also closest to the default layout in the Mac version of Dreamweaver that you just saw, except that the Mac has all free floating windows and panels that aren't contained within one big window. So if I switch back to the Mac for a second, here on the Mac side, you can see these are all free floating panel groups, and I can drag them anywhere I want, instead of being in one big window. Let's pop back over to Windows. So that's Window, Workspace, Designer. Now, if you choose Coders, your workspace will be set up with all the panel groups docked to the left side of the screen, and your documents will be opened up in Code View by default. So if I create a new document, instead of opening up in Design View, it'll open up with the behind-the-scenes code so I can start typing or editing code right away. But in the movies and these tutorials, I'm going to be working almost entirely in the Designer or default layout. So I suggest you do the same. I'll be showing you in just a few movies from now how you can customize your workspace even after you've made this initial choice. But for now, make sure to set your workspace layout to either default on the Mac or Designer on Windows if you want to be able to follow along with me in the upcoming movies.